So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Boy, do I have something to show you today. I'm calling it the Dream Machine. This thing is incredible. Has loads of tech in it, incredible capability. There's so much to talk about, I don't even know where to begin. So let's start with something easy, like why do I have this machine here? That'll be a good one to get things going. Well, I don't think it's any secret. I like equipment. If you've watched our channel for a while, you know that. I always try to find the best tool for the job, and I also try to get the most bang for my buck. Now, at some point down the road, I'm not sure when this will be, I may replace my skid steer with something. I figure once I'm done with all the heavy digging, land clearing, all that kind of stuff, I will be more into a sort of like a material handling and maintenance mode from there to the finish line, if you know what I'm saying. The skid steer is a fantastic machine. I have a Kubota SVL 97-2. It's an absolute beast. It's great for digging. It's great with the grapple. It just works really, really well. However, the downside to the skid steer, and there's a couple, and I know it's a compact track loader. I call it a skid steer. The downside to that is it's hard on lawns. It's hard on, you know, down by the sawmill. I have stone everywhere, which then makes it hard on the tracks when you're moving logs, things like that. You're always kind of cleaning up after yourself. I knew that going into it. It's more of a initial machine, to me at least. When you're moving a bunch of dirt, clearing trees, and you just need that power and weight, it's a fantastic machine. But once all that kind of work is done, you know, I'm gonna want something that's a little easier on the roads, on the lawn, and a lot more versatile, okay? Now at first, I was kind of looking at mini skids, like this kind that you just stand on. And the reason I thought that would be pretty handy is you're down there working at the sawmill, you've got one slab off the mill, say you wanna move it, you gotta climb in over top, you know, behind the forks, get down in the cab, move it, climb back out of the machine. And it doesn't sound like much, but if you do that 30 or 40 times in an hour or two, you could have better use of your time. So I thought about a mini skid, but then I started thinking about a compact wheel loader. So I had been investigating these for quite some time, and I've seen the AVANTs around. They're very popular with tree service companies because, like I said, they're very easy on the lawn. But the thing that impressed me most about this is the lift capacity compared to the weight of the machine. This has an operating capacity of about 4,100 pounds, okay? 4,100 pounds, but the operating weight of this machine is only 5,600 pounds. So the operating capacity is almost, what is that? Almost 75% of the weight of the machine. Plus, with it weighing just 5,600 pounds, you could put that machine and a couple attachments on a trailer and you could run down the road without a CDL. Now, I don't know of any other machine out there. There probably is. Just let me know in the comments if you can think of one that has that kind of operating capacity and only weighs 5,600 pounds. To tell you how much 4,100 pounds is, let me put it this way. My LX 4020 tractor has a lift capacity of around 1,000 pounds. The MX has probably right around 2,000 pounds. Okay, so this machine lifts more than both of those machines combined, plus about 1,100 pounds. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, it's the 860i, and this is actually the largest compact articulated wheel loader that AVANT offers. They have several sizes smaller than this one. Now, I guess I didn't fully answer the question why I have this machine here. So like I said, I was doing some research. I stumbled upon AVANT. I started looking at different videos on the internet. I went to their website and I was pretty impressed with it. And so I found out who my local dealer was, which they're just down the road, Highway Equipment. And I contacted them and they were willing to do a demo. And, you know, they would bring it out for a couple hours and you can run it around and see what you think. And I said, you know what? I just want to rent it for a week, 1 week, and kind of use it as a typical week here on our property. We're going to be using this down at the sawmill. We're going to load some firewood, some stone. We're going to move some logs, firewood baskets, move some topsoil. We're going to do all kind of things with this. So I rented the machine. I have no affiliation at all with AVANT or Highway Equipment. I have an account with them and I just rented it. I rented it for a week and I figured that would be a good test for me and for anyone that may be looking for something like this. So like I said, I've got no ties to anyone. Rental for this machine's probably about $1,200 a week is what it's going to cost, and that includes a few attachments. Now, as far as attachments go, it's really unbelievable. They have over 200 different attachments. This one on here now is called the Timber Grab, I believe, and I've got a whole 7 or 8 minutes of experience using it. I was a little bit clumsy with it, but this would be an incredible attachment for moving logs. What's nice about it, say you're working on somebody's property, you know, like with the grapple on the skid loader, you've got to carry everything in front of you like this. Well, this rotates. It's got those teeth on that plate right there, so you can take the logs like straight out of driveway or something with it. I would get onto this pretty quick. There's a couple buttons in there. Like I said, I've never run one of these before. I've run wheel loaders, big ones, maybe 20 years ago, but that has been it until today. So we've got the Timber Grab. Back over at the house, I've got a set of pallet forks and a bucket. I think right now we're going to take it over to the house, drop the Timber Grab, and we're going to put the bucket on, and I'm going to show you how easy this comes off of here. And we need to move a bunch of topsoil from over there out into the low spots in the clearing. Maybe 25 or 30 bucketfuls. We'll see. Now, obviously, this one comes with a cab. We're going to start it up. This is your parking brake. Turn that off. This is your loader control. We'll get into all these buttons later, but this telescopes the boom. Push that, boom goes out. Get you way more reach out there. Bring it back in. With the Timber Grab on there, see this red button right here? I'm gonna push it. Here, I'll lift it up so you can see it. Red button closes, blue one opens. Now if you want to rotate, you switch this button right here. Switch that down. Then the red button rotates that way, blue button rotates that way. So we're gonna hit this button again, close it up. And then your loader control is just your basic loader control. Up, down, dump, curl back. Let's head over to the house, take this off, put a bucket on, start moving some dirt. It actually rides very nice. This road is not finished, it's not real smooth. I'd say it rides a little bit smoother than a tractor. And like I said, it's articulated, but it does not oscillate, okay? So, you know, it's not like the front end can go this way while your back end's sitting flat. But like I said, it rides better than I thought it would. This has a 57 horsepower Kohler diesel in it, and it'll travel speed of about 18 miles an hour down the highway. So what we're gonna do to take the timber grab off, we're gonna push this button here, and that just released the pins. I could see it from the cab. I'll show that to you when I get out there. Now from the cab, you can see this right here. I released this, that brought the pins up. I can see right now I'm gonna want to adjust this when I actually disconnect from it. But check this out right here. These are your hydraulic couplers and electrical connection. You don't get any easier than this right here. So there's a red button on this side over here. I'm just gonna push that button in. Disconnected. Check that out. We'll connect it back up. That's all there is to it. Hydraulics and electrical, one lever. Then the attachments, they've all got a place to set that, just like so. All right, that did not go exactly as planned, but no harm, no foul. Everything's good, and the plate is sitting so I can hook back up to it when I want to. Alright, so I took about 6 or 7 buckets of topsoil over there so far, and it did pretty well. Not near as good as the skid loader would do though, but keep in mind the skid loader weighs about 7,000 pounds more than the AVANT. It's on tracks, and it's got another 40 horsepower approximately, so you wouldn't expect this to dig as well. Now this bucket is actually kind of small for this one. They didn't have the big bucket. It's at another location. I said this one would be fine. And you can see the sides kind of flare out a little bit. So I think this one just covers, yeah, just covers your tracks. But it's a pretty small bucket. It has the lift capacity. That's not the problem. But pulling straight into a pile, the skid loader almost goes right through it, where this, you kind of got to work it a few times. The first couple buckets weren't completely full. The last couple I did pretty good. It's kind of a neat design. If you look, the boom is offset a little bit. I think that's to improve visibility a little bit. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of thinking and engineering that went into this. And surprisingly, it feels very stable. You don't think a wheel loader would feel that good, But when you get to looking at it, you got that heavy frame down at the bottom, the engine, all your pumps, kind of has a low center of gravity, but I haven't felt tippy at all, even with a full bucket, not even close. It feels nice and good. The way this thing articulates, it's kind of funny. That back end will come around and you'll catch it out of the corner of your eye. You think someone's sneaking up on you, but it definitely a little bit of a learning curve. Right now I'm going to take the skid loader over to the yard real quick and we'll put the bucket on it, and that'll give you a good comparison between the two, digging into that topsoil pile. Alright, I brought some more topsoil over with the skid loader and kind of shine things up a bit. If you don't know what I'm doing here, I cleared probably about 150 trees in here, and there were some low spots where the stumps were, and I just bring some topsoil over, just kind of keep working it back and forth, making sure everything's compacted, fill those low spots in. It's pretty flat out here, real flat actually, but it does fall this direction just the slightest bit, and I don't want to have puddles out in the middle, so we'll get her all graded up, burn that big brush pile, and then I will till it all up in seed. But anyway, back to the Avant. Tomorrow we're going to do some firewooding, move some baskets around with it, see how it handles that. So far we have learned it's handy as a pocket on a shirt, but skid loader will definitely outdig it, which, like I said, 7,000 pounds more, another 40 horsepower. But this is one slick unit. All right, so this morning we're back on the Avant. We're headed out to the clearing here. I just put the forks on, and I have gotten much better already at hooking up and unhooking attachments. Once you know what to look for, it's pretty easy to do. But one thing that I really wanted to see was what visibility was like with the forks. You know, if you can see the forks, which you can. I'm going to show you. We're going to get out here and move a firewood basket, and a little trick to make it even easier to see them. So I have the camera right at eye level. Well, when you put the forks all the way down, you just kind of lose sight of the tips of the forks. So what I'm going to do, hit this button right here, and that will extend the boom out. which really improves visibility. I can now see the tips of the forks. I can go out a little bit further. So yeah, if you can't see, you can always extend the boom a little bit. But visibility is really good. Much better than a tractor, at least my tractors. Not as good as the skid loader though. This is a basket of cherry. It's been out here since last fall, so it's already kind of drying. Probably only weighs about 1,400 pounds, so that should be no trouble, which it's not. So I have the boom almost all the way out. I'll suck it back in, get it closer to the machine. Now, one other thing I want to show you. Oh yeah, it feels good with this, really good. So we're going to put it all the way down. I'm guessing, oh, that's float. I think it has self-leveling. We're going to find out. Yeah, self-leveling. You notice the basket is staying flat all the way up. So it's self-leveling up. And we're going to go down. And it is self-leveling on the way down. Very nice. All right, so this morning I moved some firewood baskets around. I brought some in from out at the clearing, kind of organizing down here at the Woodyard, and I put the timber grab, I think it's called, back on it, and moved some logs. Those are some big red oak right there. That's heavy stuff. Handled that no problem at all. I really like how you can manipulate this. It all takes a little getting used to, because you find yourself in the machine trying to come, you know, square and straight to wherever you want to set something. You don't even have to do that. You can just rotate it however you want. But it's an incredible machine. It really is. And a couple things that I don't like about it, not the end of the world, but, and I'm sure with a little bit of time I'd get used to it. For me, this is your reverse pedal, forward pedal. They're just kind of close together. They really are. And occasionally, if your foot is sideways a little bit, I was hitting the reverse at the same time as the forward. And like I said, though, if I ran it more, I'm sure I would get used to that. The other thing is the air conditioning. It works, but not near as well as like the air conditioner in my excavator. That'll freeze you out. And this cab's not real big. There's plenty of room inside. Getting in and out of it, it's not a big deal, but it's definitely easier than a skid loader. But you can see, you kind of step right here and slide over top of that into the seat. But I don't know what else they would do. They have jammed so much function and technology into such a small package. And like I said, this is the biggest one they make, the 860i. But the lift capability is incredible. Especially, like I said at the beginning of this video, considering the weight of the machine is only, I think, 5,600 pounds. So you could haul this in the timber grab on a 10,000 pound trailer and you'd be just fine. They have different tires for them. These are like the turf tires. If I ever got one, I thought I may get, you know, like the bar tread, but the more I run these, I think these would be just fine. Probably not going to be great in the mud, but running around the yard or working out on the clearing, you know, things like that. If it's a muddy mess, I'm probably not going to be working anyway. But, oh, another thing worth a mention, these tires, when you turn sharp, the inside tire slows down, the outside tire speeds up. Another thing just to help without tearing up the turf. But running around on these stones down here, I mean, I haven't made a mark. It's, there's a lot to think about with this thing. There really is. I'm getting faster at changing attachments. That's another thing. You get used to it pretty quick. And the learning curve on this machine, like I said, I haven't run a wheel loader for probably 20 years. And I'm picking up on it pretty quick. It's just remembering which button does which. But the boom extension, when this comes out, I mean, this thing comes way out here. That's a game changer right there. For picking things up, you can see a little bit better. Plus, you have that added reach and lift. Works great with the log grab. I think later on today, I'm going to take this out in the woods. I've got all that brush and trees along the road going out to the clearing. And, you know, some of them are 30, 40 feet long, and I can't grab them with the grapple and run them out to the fire pit or to the burn pile. You have to take them out with, you know, straight with the road. So I think I will use this kind of like a skidder. Pull up on the bank, grab that stuff, and just pull her down the road out into the open. But that'll be another video. There's a lot to talk about and a lot to cover with a machine like this. Look at this. It's got 2 curl cylinders. A lot of really nice features on this. I have to say, the most impressive thing to me is one of the most simplest things, and that is this right here. The way that connects your electric and hydraulics in a blink of an eye. Really nice. So that's about it so far. When I edit this video, I know there's a ton of stuff I didn't go over or cover, and we'll do that again in another video. But if you have any questions, something that you would like to see in particular, let me know in the comments. But like I said, I rented this from Highway Equipment in Zillionople, PA. The AVANT 860i. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here. Hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you on the next one.